So 2%. No, I'm not talking about milk. I'm talking about percentage of votes that Joe Swofford collected in this past congressional campaign. So he was running for the United States House of Reps and in our District 2 of Arkansas. Now I'm up here just like all y'all. I had to do 4 hours of service learning, and here we are. And I'm also, just like all of y'all, a student at UALR in this ACOM 1300 class. Having fun doing speaking. So today I'm going to share about my experience with the congressional campaign that Joe Swofford was running. And so first I'm going to talk about my contributions to the campaign and exactly what I did. Secondly, I'm going to identify a communication principle in my story and relate that back to my service learning. My story. Thirdly, I'm going to talk about how I can use communication concepts and ethical implications to improve my communication and help my community out. So let's get to it. So, like all of y'all guys, most of you anyways, I know we have a couple students that may not be citizens and may not be able to vote. But most of you are and are citizens of Arkansas and are able to cast your vote in Arkansas. I went out and I voted. Now, I also stepped up and I volunteered for Joe Swofford. And one of his mission statements was to unleash the prosperity of my district by appropriately representing my constituents. Now, Joe Swofford, he's a libertarian, and one of the core beliefs that libertarians have is that a lot of people are actually libertarians, but they just don't realize it. So he wants to get his name out there, get the Libertarian Party's name out there. And I believe I was able to help that by increasing awareness, and what I did a lot was put out signs. But that's not all I did. Before I get into that, I want to talk a little bit about Joe Swofford. He's a great guy. He's 28 years old, and that's pretty young to be running for congressional seat, and I think that's pretty special. He's also from Arkansas State. He just graduated very recently, 6 years ago. And the reason why I know him is because before school started, he came down to Kappa Sigma fraternity, which he's actually a brother of, back up at Arkansas State. And he was asking for some of the brothers' help, and I stood up and said, all right, I want to help you out. You look real good. So what I did to help him out, I not only put up signs, but I figured out where to put the signs up. I had to do a bunch of research. I actually went onto the Arkansas Department of Transportation's website and downloaded a database of information about traffic patterns in Pulaski County. And I narrowed it down to 2-lane and 4-lane streets that had the highest traffic patterns, so that most visibility for the signs. And then I went out there and I put the signs up. So, moving on. I'm going to talk about communication. So communication is irreversible, just like right now. Y'all guys can't take away what I'm communicating to you, so no matter what, y'all guys are going to walk out there and I'm going to leave an impression on y'all guys. Irreversible. So according to Adler, Rodman, and Dupree in 2015, communication is a dynamic process that cannot be reversed. Once a message is interpreted, the interpretation becomes a part of the person's cognitive history. So I'm relating that back to my story, because when I went out and put up the signs, I wanted the signs either so people could see them. Once people saw them, they couldn't take the image out of the brain. They'd see the sign, they'd know, oh hey, it's Joe Swofford. You know, I recognize that name. So when they went up to the ballot, I'm like, oh, Joe Swofford. I've seen a lot of his signs. I vote for him. Okay, and I want to talk about communication principle. That is, my communication principle that I chose was concern for my community. And that is defined by the Survival Guide, committing to the practice of daily actions, interactions, and performances of engaged citizens that promote a co-created community experience. So I believe that I helped out my community by helping out with this campaign. One of our rights as citizens, our experience with here in America, is that we get to vote for our people that represent us. I think that's a very big part about America, and it's opening up my community by going out there and showing what I believe in. So the second communication concept is trustworthiness. According to Survival Guide, it is the degree to which the accuracy of ideas and shared information can be used by others to make decisions, maintaining the trust needed for a healthy community. So trustworthiness, because Joe came up to me and said, I need you to take care of research. And I said, okay. And he hadn't really talked to me before, you know. He said, I want to help out. And he said, all right, what are you good at? I'm like, I'm really good with research. So he trusted me enough just based off that, and that I was a Kappa Sigma, to put me in charge of research for his campaign. I think that was a very big part in helping him out there. All right, so moving on to our concepts and our ethical implications. Our behavior communication changes. I mean, we don't talk the same way we did back in 5th grade, you know, so we learn how to behave differently, talk to each other differently, and I think that's a big part about campaigns. You gotta learn how to communicate to everyone. You can't just communicate to the same people you've been communicating to for a while. You wanna get out there, you wanna get those votes. So, and I think I could work on that as well for myself, you know, getting the experience, getting the ability to talk to anyone, and getting them to actually accept my message. So the ethical implications that I chose was integrity. So integrity is defined in the Survival Guide as modeling our values for others by holding ourselves accountable to the same standards that we hold others to, and keeping promises that we make to others, even when no one's watching. So integrity is a very big thing in politics. A lot of the population does not believe that a lot of politicians have integrity. And so I want to step up, help my community out, show integrity in everything that I do, and I want that to be relayed to other politicians whenever they're running. So in conclusion, I just want to tell you that most of y'all are able to vote, and I really hope y'all guys do go out and vote, voice your opinions, just like I'm able to. So I told y'all guys about my service learning experience. It's a lot of fun. First, I went into depth about my experience and what exactly I did. And then secondly, I identified a communication principle related to my story. Thirdly, I brought up how I can use concepts and ethical implications to improve my communication and help out my community. So like I said, it was a lot of fun stepping up, helping out my community, going out there campaigning, voting. I hope y'all guys do the same if given the opportunity. Thank you guys very much.
All right. Oh, sorry.